want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard. For your mom to your pop to the beast to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know.
Okay, Coach, so the snow and rain have stayed out of the forecast, but we're in for a cold afternoon at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So now it's third and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
I'm scared.
Now Michel. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun, Wilson being chased out left. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Green 80!
Hey, let's get in that hole.
Touch 50, touch 50!
All day, baby, all day, all day, all day. Like 42.
Now on on 2nd and 13. Wilson escaping the pressure right. And that's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with it and try and get him settled.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Check 43.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing 3rd down. Now Ryan, and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. Escapes the defender. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. He was already in some pretty rarefied air, and he just stepped into another zip code now because he passed Walter Payton for 2nd place all time on the NFL rushing list.
So it's not just the talent, right? It's not just having a couple of really good years. It's the longevity and doing it at a consistently high level. Remember those workouts Walter Payton was famous for, running up the hill in Chicago, and how guys would try it and they couldn't keep up? Well, we know someone who could keep up because he's doing it quite well right now. Just passed Walter Payton. Say it one more time.
Walter Payton, the only man ahead of him now, a couple thousand away from Emmitt Smith. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Steelers nothing.
The lone receiver right is Cooper. Here's Ryan. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
On third down, Michelle. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Space to maneuver at the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP time.
Here's Elliott, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That's trash. That's trash. Watch twist. Watch the twist. 49. Check.
Hey, express. Get up.
On second and 11 now. Ryan, incomplete. The linebacker T.J. Watt there on the coverage.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 37-yard line. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown, Cowboys. Matt Ryan now 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And a route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
We got this. First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Leighton Vander Esch
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Just like that. Just like that.
On second and 11 now. Wilson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On third down, Michel, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A first half update now from Philadelphia. And that one's pretty well wrapped up as the Giants have grown their lead even further. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Hey, wait. Ready for this? They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. 11.
Check safety, check safety.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Now Ryan on first down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Fighting through pressure, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On third down, Ryan. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Joker.
This is Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Check. Watch 54. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. Check. Hey, check 24. Hey, switch gears.
Now Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. 36 yards on the play.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On the ground, Michel. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Look for signals.
From the gun, they run with Michel. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
4 down. Hey, wait.
Kid 21, kid 21.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Check, 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 check.
54.
I got him.
No, off.
Check three.
Tight dog.
10th carry now for Elliott. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Ready.
54 miles. No chance.
Shift. Watch the shift. Wait. Gotta go.
Ryan now to throw on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Ty Long now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it. This is Michelle. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. They go play action now. Wilson eluding the pressure. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us. But I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Ready.
Hey.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now it's Ryan. And he whips that one incomplete there. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Ryan. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
Check 55 tonight.
And let's pin the mirrors back in.
Throwing again, Ryan. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
At the Steelers' 10-yard line.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone. And the football will come out to the 20-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike, 380. Right there in the middle, 55.
Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson to Michelle on the screen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great start to the 2nd quarter, better than 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Michelle. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
I got you, punk. Man left, man left. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson forced out to his left. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On the ground, this is Michelle. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan. He's going to wind up and air it out. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a 1st down, yes, that would be...
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is going to blow up in their faces. Not only do they not get the first, they're going to lose big yardage as well. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
Check 55 to Mike. Watch the back, watch the back.
They'll run on 1st down. Michelle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. That is caught. It's Juju. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play there on the catch and run. 75 yards. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
And 10 yards to go.
What? 280.
Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Get that quarter.
From the gun, Wilson. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson, flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So we got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Single. I got a single in the slot. Wait. Check 3. Kill.
21.
Hey, turn it up.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On the ground is Michel. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Dallas, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our